Welcome back to video number 2 in this series, Power Over Food Forever. If you missed video 1, go back and watch that one. It's kind of the overview and the inception of what I'm about to talk about in this video. Again, welcome. Thank you for being here. I honestly feel so privileged to be able to share this information with you that can literally be life-changing. So that how you've struggled before in the past and how you've experienced failure after failure and weight loss, this can be the turning point. This can be you having an entire full deck and actually understanding what has been getting in your way all this time. So in video number 1, we talked about becoming the manager of your brain, the CEO, the orchestrator of your thoughts. In this video, I would like to talk about how important your feelings are. Secret number 2 is that you must feel and process your emotions. You see, we never learned how to feel and process our negative emotions. Like positive emotions have never been a problem. And so what does our society tell us? Oh, just be happy all the time. Why? Because we have no freaking idea what to do with a negative emotion other than feel bad and resist it. And so what our culture did to try to deal with that negative emotion that they didn't know what to do with is create false pleasures. They're making a lot of money on this too. That's probably one of the reasons why we've never been taught how to feel our emotions. So they gave us things like food, really processed, high calorie, dopamine hitting foods to cover up that negative emotion. We have alcohol, again, to help deaden the pain. We have pornography. We have shopping. We have materialism, right? So many things that we can reach for when we're not feeling good. Something is wrong, we're feeling bad, and we want to solve for it outside of ourselves. Now, most people will use food to self-soothe. But all of these pleasures, all of these solutions that the world gives us are false pleasures. Because what happens is that it creates a net negative. It actually makes you worse off than you were before when you were just feeling the negative emotion. Why? Because now you've consumed 1,000 or 2,000 calories more than you needed. You've made yourself feel sick. And then you start feeling disappointed in yourself. You might even shame yourself, or you might look at yourself as a failure and think you're never going to figure it out. So now not only were you feeling negative before for some reason, now you're feeling sick to your stomach and you're feeling judgment from yourself. If that's not a net negative, I don't know what is. So food is a false pleasure. Whether it's salty food, sweet food, or anything else, if you're eating it to help you solve for your emotions, it's making your life worse. Now, this isn't your fault. Again, you haven't had the tools in order to deal with that negative emotion. And this was really the only option you had. So you're 20, 40, 80, 100 pounds overweight. And it's all because you have been eating to cover up negative emotion. You've been self-soothing with food. So what's the solution here then? How is feeling our negative emotions going to change all of that? Well, this is how it changes it. First, I want to talk to you about how to actually process your emotions. You've got to go to a quiet space. You know, maybe you've had a stressful day or you had a bad conversation with someone or you just got some terrible news and you're feeling it somewhere in your body, right? Emotions are just vibrations in our body. Now, if you can be aware that something has gotten triggered in you, right? You have some emotion popping up. That's when, if you have the time and you can take the time away, it's a great time to go and process it. So you go somewhere private to your room, perhaps you sit on your bed or lie down and you start breathing. I suggest to get started, you take 5 deep inhales and 5 long exhales. And after you've kind of really settled into the moment, then you start asking 5 questions. Number 1, where is this vibration happening in my body? And that's when you start scanning. You scan from the tip of your head down through your neck and your shoulders and your chest. You can scan your entire body. And before long, you will come to something happening, some vibration that's not normal for you. And then that's where you put your focus. So once you locate it, then you ask yourself the next 4 questions. If this were a material, what would it be made out of? If this had a color, what color would it be? Is there a temperature? Is there a motion, or is it still? What you're trying to do is really investigate all the ways you can investigate that vibration going on in your body. And it's kind of like personifying it. So it's real to you, right? This is a vibration that's really happening in your body. And as you do that in your breathing, you take a deep breath and you remind yourself, nothing has gone wrong here. I'm a human, and this is how I experience anxiety, anger, fear, worthlessness. Whatever it is that you're feeling, ask yourself, is there something here for me to learn? And that's not really the point of processing your emotions, but if something comes up, that's awesome, because our negative emotions are our teachers. And the sad thing is that when we cover up with food or other false pleasures, a lot of times we never get to learn what our negative emotions are trying to tell us. So once we start processing those emotions and we're lying there on the bed and we're breathing into it and we're really describing it and we're relaxing and breathing love into that area, you will start to feel that emotion lift and lighten to the point where it's significantly less than it was before. And you can realize, well, this is just a vibration. This isn't a terrible thing. This isn't going to cause me actual pain. It might be uncomfortable. It might feel a little painful, but it's not going to do any long-term damage. Like, this is just how emotions and hormones and vibrations occur. This is totally normal. So you open yourself up to it, you allow it to be there, and then it processes through. Now, feeling your emotions, especially if you've been covering them up for a long time, can be a daily practice and maybe would be really helpful to you if you decided to make it a daily practice, like you do with meditation. This is slightly different than meditation because meditation is like, mindful quietness. This is more like an investigative experience to try to get to the vibration of the emotion you're feeling. So it has a purpose. It's more purposeful than just like a regular meditation. Because what happens when we don't process our emotions, we start just carrying them along with us. And it's kind of like trying to hold a beach ball under the surface of the water. There's always this pressure, right? And we always feel like a lot of things are just ready to explode. And some of us do explode all over the place. Why? Because we have so little available energy for emotion because we have it all bottled up inside of us. You don't need to be worried that it's going to destroy you to start feeling your emotions because you have so many. You've been keeping them locked up for years. No, you don't need to worry about that. Your vibrations, your emotions cannot harm you. I promise you. And once you start to allow them to be there, you give them space. You stop resisting them, stop covering them up, start giving them respect. All they want is a little bit of your focused attention. And when you do that, huge weights begin to fall off of your shoulders and your chest and your head. It is literally like a physical weight has been lifted when you allow those vibrations to process through your body by giving them the attention, focusing on them and breathing through them. Why is this so important? Because if you are literally processing your emotions and they're becoming less, the desire to solve for that negative emotion with food, treats, or desserts, or other things is going to be so much lessened. You can literally save yourself thousands of calories a day that are merely just trying to solve something they can't solve for, or actually making the problem worse. Because now you've got to deal with the result of those extra calories, which is more weight on your body, which affects your health and your emotions. So we've got to stop using food to soothe and start feeling our emotions and not eating them. This is vital. It is a skill. Everyone can do it. Even if you've been an emotional eater for a long time, this is something you can teach yourself to do. It is life-changing, and it will help you lose weight and have power over food forever. I'm so happy you listened through the end of this. I can't wait for you to experience the power of this in your life. Please share with me what you learn and what opens up for you in your life because of this important nugget of wisdom. Please listen to secret number 3. I have more for you also that will just open up the possibilities for a new way of life around food and power over food you've never experienced before. Thanks so much. I can't wait for our next meeting.